right, so let's take a look at number 25. Okay, so number 25's problem was, I have 168 is equal to negative 84 times n. Is this the problem you're talking about, sweetie? Okay. So what's happening between the variable and the negative 84? Michaela, what's happening between the variable and the negative 84? They're being multiplied together. So we need to, what do we need to do to undo that multiplication, Michaela? Not subtract. What's the opposite of multiplication? Divide. So we're going to divide. Remember, and we're using a fraction bar to show division. So we're going to divide each side by negative 84 because I need to undo the multiplication of negative 84 times n. So whatever I do to one side, we have to do to the other. All right, remember, we're using a fraction bar to show division. Well, my negative 84's divide out, and I'm simply left with a 1n, which is what I wanted. And then off to the side, I'm going to do 168 divided by 84. Well, 8 divides into 16 twice, all right, and 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm pretty sure this might be an even 2, so that's what I'm going to try. So 2 times 4 is 8, that's 16, so that's exactly what it is. So my answer then is a negative 2 because a positive divided by negative is a negative. All right, what else can I do for you guys from the skills worksheet? Mateo? The skills worksheet. What can I do for you guys from the skills worksheet? Vincent? 15? All right. 15 said, I have 20 is equal to n divided by 4. All right, so Vincent, since this says n divided by 4, how do I undo that division by that 4? I'm not changing anything. I'm leaving this exactly how it is. What undoes division? So I'm going to multiply by 4 or 4 over 1. Because when I multiply n divided by 4 over 1, my 4's can divide out, which is what I wanted. So I'm left with just an n, a 1n on that right side. Well, whatever I do to one side, I have to do the same thing to the other. So since I had to multiply n divided by 4, so the 4's divide out, I have to multiply 20 by 4 as well, and that gives me 80. So I'm not changing our problem at all. I'm undoing the math that's happening to the variable. If it said n plus 4, I'm adding a negative 4. If it says 4 times n, I'm undoing that multiplication by dividing. Here it was n divided by 4. I'm undoing that division by multiplying by the same number. What else can I do from the skills worksheet? Mateo? 23? All right, so let's take a look at 23. 23 said I have 6 is equal to m minus 16. I'm hoping that you guys had your notes out in front of you to remind you, if you needed to, the proper work to do. All right, so God bless you, what's the first thing that I require that you do on this equation? Christiana? Adding the opposite. So I'm going to do m plus a negative 16. Addison, what from there? So this says m plus a negative 16. What can I add to a negative 16 to make it 0? Excellent. So I'm going to add a positive 16 to both sides. So we always change subtraction to addition and the number after to its opposite, and then say, what can I add to that number to make it 0? All right, so I end up with m plus 0 equals, well, I have a positive 16 plus a positive 6. This gives me a positive 22. So m is equal to a positive 22. All right, how about on the story problems worksheet? What problems can I do from there? Alex? Number 7? All right, let's take a look at number 7. So number 7 said Amanda and her best friend found some money buried in a field. They split the money evenly, each getting $24.28. How much money did they find? All right, so they found money. They split evenly. So $24.28. If each one of them got $24.28, what kind of number is this? If each person got $24.28, $24.28 each, $24.28 per person, what kind of number is that? You guys have to recognize these numbers. Romano? That's a rate. So this is, if I write that as a rate, $24.28 per person. That is a rate. A rate is always a part. It's always used in multiplication. Well, 99% of the time. All right? So the moment you see a rate, you're like, oh, sweet, I have multiplication. Right? So we have to do our parts equal to our whole. What information? So what we want to do is we want to find total money found. So what information here is my whole? What information here is my whole? Angela? Yep. So that's our total money. So I'm not going to, just give me 1 second. That's our total money found. What makes up, what are my parts then, Angela? No numbers. You may not have any numbers in your game plan. No, the money they found is this right here. Put your hands down. Excellent. Yep, money per person. Times what? Not times 2. Why 2? Money per person times, because I could have had 3 people split it. I could have 4 people. How many people? My number of people. So I want you guys not thinking numbers, right? Think about, because I could change it, the number of people, right? And it wouldn't, you'd still have the same game plan. Does that make sense? So I want you guys thinking not with the numbers, but the information. Okay. But I agree with you, Angela, that this total money found, here is a situation where X is going to be equal to. Like we will have X equal to some math because the whole is what is missing. Can you guys see that? All right. So, Angela, you said we have 2 people, right? And we're multiplying by $24.28. So there is my game plan, and there is my equation. So when I multiply that out, I get X is equal to $48.56. And then I'd write that as a sentence. The total money they found was $48.56. Don't forget, you have to, sit up please, you have to write your answer as a sentence when you're done. By the way, money signs, dollar signs go before your money, before the number, not after. If I see after, I will mark you down. I need you guys paying attention to how we write money in the United States. All right, what else can I do from the story problems? Mateo? All right, let's take a look at 5. All right, so it says last week Julia ran 30 more miles than, somebody say her name. What would you say? Pranav. Pranav. We'll go with that. Pranav, something like that. Okay. So Julia ran 30. How many of you guys notice this sentence is a math sentence? Because someone ran 30 more miles than somebody else. That's kind of a math sentence, isn't it? Right? All right, so Julia ran 30 more miles than Pranav. Okay, this is hard. This sentence right here, you have to use your common sense as to how is best to write that. Hi. No, you're fine. Of course. Can you do me one favor? Can you give me 1 minute?
Yes.
And then I will send him to you. Excellent. This is a hard sentence to decode. You've got to think who ran more. Like, that's what I want you guys thinking. Who ran more miles? All right? And then you're thinking, well, how many more? So we're going to get to decoding that sentence. Let me read the rest of this. It says, Julia ran 47 miles. How many did Pranav run? Okay. So if I look at this sentence, who ran more miles? Julia ran 30 more miles than Pranav. Who ran more miles? Alex? Julia. So Julia's equals how many more miles than Pranav? Alex? 30. So I'm going to take Pranav's plus 30 miles. This is one of those times that I don't mind you guys writing a number in there. So I'm going to say J miles equals Pranav miles plus 30 miles. That's what that sentence says right there. And that's how I want you guys thinking. Who ran more miles? Julia did, so Julia's equals 30 more than the other one. So now I don't know Pranav's miles. I know Julia's, so Julia's was 47. I don't know Pranav's, it's x plus 30. And then I would solve that. Mateo, go see Mrs. Vajon, please. So I'm just going to finish this. I know you guys all can do this. So I end up with x is equal to 17. So I would say Pranav ran 17 miles. What else can I do for you guys in the story problems? Nothing? Are you guys sure? You guys pretty confident with this? Okie dokie. Put this away. Get a piece of paper out and a pencil. Everything's off your desk except for your paper and your pencil for your